Okay, let's be honest. How many times have you walked off the mat and you're just like, man, I just swam through so many techniques,
Yeah.
but you still can't quite grasp that one, that one little detail, that one move that's really gonna like level up your game.
Yeah. It's funny, like, it's almost a paradox in jujitsu because there's so much content out there, right?
Right.
Like, between the instructionals and competition footage and social media, it's like we're drowning in content.
Drowning,
But
yes.
trying to actually improve sometimes feels like trying to, like, fill a bucket with a hole in it, you know?
Totally. And you get so excited, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to learn. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch this hour-long instructional. And then you get to training and it's like, wait, how'd that arm bar work again?
True. Yeah, it's like, and the interesting thing about this app that we're diving into today, this BJ Jing app, is the creator gets it.
Yeah.
Like he's a black belt himself, Garbi Musamechi, and he talks about that exact frustration. He's like, I used to like film my computer screen. He's like, just to try to isolate like specific moves from these instructionals,
Oh, wow.
like just to try to break it down.
Oh, I've totally been there. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack of arm bars. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's gold in those instructionals, but like actually extracting it, being able to like take that and turn it into muscle memory, that's the challenge that this app BJ Jing is really trying to solve.
Yeah. And it's interesting the way they're trying to tackle this problem because it's like, they're not just adding more content to the sea of content,
Right.
They're trying to change the way that we even interact with jujitsu instruction, right?
Okay.
And so, like, I guess their secret weapon for that
Yeah.
is something that they call cards, right?
Okay, so tell me about these cards. What are they? What makes them different?
So imagine this. So, like, say you're trying to learn a lapel choke from like deep half guard.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got your legs intertwined with your opponent. You're like really deep on their hips.
Mm.
You want to learn that lapel choke, right? Now imagine, like, instead of scrubbing through a 20-minute video to try to find that detail,
Yeah.
you've got this like 5-second clip that's showing you just the hand movements, the grip, like just that detail that you need when you need it, right?
Ow.
That's a BJ Jing card.
Okay, so it's like micro movements, micro learning, but just in time for when you're actually going to drill it.
Exactly.
Okay, and I can see how that would be such a game changer, especially when, like, we all have limited time on the mat, so you got to make those drilling sessions count.
For sure.
But how do they choose which techniques? Because jujitsu is like infinite, how do they choose which techniques they make into cards?
So that's what's really impressive about this. They've built this really in-depth like filtering system, right? So think of it like this, like you're no longer limited to like just searching for like guard passes, right? Like say you want to see how Gordon Ryan passes half guard, but only when his opponent's using a knee shield. They're trying to like jam their knee into your hip to create space.
Yeah.
Like you can filter down to that level of detail on this app.
Wait, are you serious? You can filter by athlete and like specific details like that?
Oh, yeah, they've got filters for gi or no gi, competition footed versus instructionals, even like specific rule sets like IBJJF. It's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
It's nuts.
That's amazing.
Like the granularity of detail that you can get with their filtering system, it's really remarkable.
So you're telling me, like, I can almost create like a highlight reel of any technique from any position by my favorite athletes.
Basically,
That's
right.
like next level analysis.
It is. It really is. And it gets even better.
Okay.
Because remember how we were talking about those moments on the mat where
Yeah.
like you're trying to remember what was that armbar defense?
Yeah.
Or what was that sweep that I wanted to drill?
Yes.
Like BJ Jing's got you covered there too.
Okay. All right. Now you've really got my attention.
Yeah.
How does it help with like actual drilling?
So they built in these lists where you can organize. They have lists like currently drilling, drilled, and to drill next.
Mhm.
So as you're like, going through and looking at these cards and you see like, oh, that's the armbar escape from Gordon Ryan that I need. You can add that to your drilling list for like your next training session.
So it's like having like a customized training plan almost
Yeah.
that's organized and ready to go.
Yeah.
No more wasted mat time trying to remember what you wanted to work on.
Exactly. And then
Huh.
think about like the long-term benefits of that too, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine being able to track your progress, see what you've been drilling consistently, what you've been avoiding. Like it's almost like having like a training journal that's also helping you identify your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, that's huge for anyone who's serious about improving. You know what they say, like, what gets measured gets managed,
For
right?
sure.
If you can actually, like, quantify and see, like, okay, this is what I'm drilling, this is what I'm hitting, this is what I'm not, like, that's huge.
Totally. And this isn't just about like individual progress.
Mhm.
Like what I think is really cool is how this could potentially impact the entire jujitsu community in a really positive way.
Okay, now you're making me think beyond the mat, beyond just, like, my own personal games. So, like, what kind of impact?
Well, think about it. Like every single card on BJ Jing links back to the original source.
Okay.
Right? So like if you're watching a card of like a suite from a recent competition, you can click through and watch the entire match.
Oh, cool.
If you see like, a really cool technique from an instructional, it'll link you to where you can buy that instructional.
So it's like you're not only getting access to this like amazing library of techniques, but then you're also like supporting the athletes and instructors who are, putting in the work to create the content in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a win-win.
It really is like this, like you said, this really positive feedback loop where it's connecting, students and instructors and like the evolution of jujitsu all together in a way that maybe we haven't seen before.
For sure. And the thing is, this is just the beginning, right? Like PJ Jing is still in its like, beta testing phase.
Right.
But like the potential here is it's really kind of mind-blowing when you think about where this could go, right? Like imagine this evolving to include like interactive elements. Like imagine being able to like virtually roll with other users on this app and like, test out techniques from these cards.
Whoa. Okay, now that would be a game changer. You could like practice your escapes from like, a certain submission against like a virtual opponent, but using like techniques from like, the best guys in the world.
Exactly. Or imagine like, even just being able to like connect with a network of training partners who are drilling the same stuff you are, even if you're, in different parts of the world.
And think about the possibilities for like personalized learning, What if like it was tracking your progress and like, analyzing like your drilling habits and then could actually like suggest techniques or like training areas for you to focus on? It's like having like a personal jujitsu coach, but like in your pocket.
Totally. It's like taking all this data that's already out there, right?
Hmm.
Between like competition footage and instructional videos and, maybe even like your own training logs and stuff,
Yeah.
and like actually turning it into like actionable insights to improve your game. Like
Yeah.
I think that's the future that BJ Jang is pointing towards.
It's exciting to think about. I mean, we've been talking a lot about like, how this is going to revolutionize training, but like, what about just the way that like we learn jujitsu as a whole? Like, how could this change that?
I think that's a great question, and I think it really does have the potential to completely change the landscape, right? Like imagine a world where instead of like being overwhelmed by this like fire hose of content,
Right.
you can like laser focus in on exactly what you need when you need it, right?
It's like going from like a generic textbook to like a customized learning plan that's designed specifically for, your goals, your body type, your whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
It's, it's not, no more sifting through like, hours of footage just to find that one little detail. Like it
Laser.
just gives it to you.
It's it's true, and it's incredibly empowering for the individual, right?
Totally.
Like it puts you in control of your jujitsu journey
Mhm.
in a way that I don't think we've really seen before.
So for someone listening right now is like, all right, I'm sold. Like I need this in my life. Like what's the next step? What do they do?
So right now they're currently still in the beta testing phase, so they're
Mhm.
working on, refining all the features, adding more content.
Sure.
But the good news is they are planning a full launch soon. So
Amazing. And I know our listeners are going to be like, super eager to to try this out. So like as soon as we know more, we'll keep everyone updated on the progress. But man, this was really eye-opening. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to like hit the mats now.
me too, me too.
Just thinking about all this.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, it's inspiring. And it's like a good reminder that even in a sport that's, as old and, as kind of ancient as jujitsu, there's always room for like, innovation and growth and, new ways of doing things.
That's right.
And who knows, maybe this is it. Maybe this is like the thing that unlocks like a whole new level of learning and performance for grapplers everywhere. But thanks for joining me on this deep dive. I'm really excited to see like, where BJJ goes from here and how it shapes the future of jujitsu.
Absolutely. Yeah, me too.
Awesome. Thanks again.